Hi, here at the Edge studio, I'm James Morin. Today I'm going to do something a little unorthodox that I usually from strength training. We're going to do a mobility workout at home. In this time when you don't have equipment at home, obviously sitting around longer when we're cooped up here, so it's very important to keep length in the muscles and mobility in the joints to prevent soreness, stiffness, and get the blood flowing and keeping your body and joints in shape. So today we're going to go over from head to toe on certain mobility things you can do simple and easy at home that you don't need any equipment for. So the first is the shoulder girdle. We're going to do 3 types of wall slides and shoulder mobility moves. Your first movement is going to be a basic wall slide. Now keep in mind, if anything hurts, you stop. So for the first shoulder mobility, it's going to be elbows straight across shoulder height. Your head is straight back, pressing into the wall, chin's tucked in. You're at 90 degrees of your elbow, okay? Your goal is from your shoulders on down to stay flat against the wall without excessively arching that lower back, keeping your core tucked in. Our goal is fingertips on down, again, straight, and we're gonna be sliding to a military press straight up, coming back down to your initial start. Nice and smooth, keeping your abs tight and breathing. Now again, everybody is a different mobility, so keeping your body tight into the wall is going to be imperative versus trying to get your arms and shoulders all the way back, okay? So keeping your butt is more important first through the lower back flat. If you cannot reach all the way back, that's okay. That's a start on that shoulder mobility exercise, okay? So basic wall slides, keeping the chin tucked in, abs and core in, backs flat, and everything tight, 90 degrees at the elbows, and moving straight up. Typically, again, doing 3 sets of 15 on all these mobility exercises is what we're gonna do. Our next shoulder mobility. If you don't have a foam roller at home, you can use a towel against the wall. We're gonna put the towel at our wrist and hands, okay? Elbows are shoulder width apart. We're keeping our whole body nice and tight with the joints slight bend in the elbows and knees. Your thumbs will be facing towards you. You can stagger your stance to flatten the back. We're pressing into the towel and wall. We're gonna slide straight up to where you can't extend anymore without throwing the hips forward. We're gonna come down to start. So it's nice and smooth, keeping the thumbs facing you and keep pressing into the wall so the towel doesn't slide down. So this wall slide is a little safer on the shoulder joint, especially if you have excessive tightness in the joint, and also if you have impingement or any type of rotator cuff problem, this would be the exercise of choice. Our final wall mobility for our shoulder girdle is a rotation of your straight arms, okay? Alternating. So you're gonna step away from the wall a little bit, keeping the butt and the lower back flat tight to the wall. Your thumbs are facing away from the wall and your arms are locked out. Your head's back, again, chin is tucked in, and we're gonna be alternating arms, okay? So starting here, right up, left down, and we're gonna be alternating nice and slow, trying to touch the thumb and hand to each of the walls as we go, nice and smooth. We'll be doing, again, 15 touches on each side and trying to keep your arms as straight. You don't want a slight bend, that's the whole theory. Again, if you have to have a slight bend on comfort, that is totally fine. But again, keeping tight to the wall and your arms as straight as you can going up. So those are our 3 mobility exercises for shoulders against the wall that we can do. Our next ones are gonna be for our hips. Glutes, quads, and hamstrings, and especially the hips and core. We're gonna do basic bodyweight squats. Alignment from the hips, knees, and ankles is very important. Abs are tight. Your shoulders when we squat are gonna be directly over our knees coming forward, the back flat, and always maintaining spinal alignment. Abs are always tight. Your head's looking straight ahead. We can have our hands out or here to the side, okay? We're gonna be going hips and butt back, and driving through the heels, keeping your knees in alignment with the ankles and your knees not going forward over the toes or buckling in. You want to force them out. And we're going driving straight through, extending all the way at the hips, coming forward. So again, doing 3 sets of 15, okay? That will help for a warm-up, but also loosen the hips, core, glutes, and lower legs, okay? Our next one is Bulgarian split squats. So single leg work, but also awesome hip mobility for the hip flexors on the opposite side. So typically what you want to do is kneel down and you're going to come with the other leg up at a knee with your 90-degree bend of the knee, okay? Where my back foot is on the ball of the foot, the heel's always up, and I'm going to be driving through the front heel of this leg, okay? This is going to be your stance. You'll stand straight up, okay? And then this is going to be the width we'll be having, okay? You're staying shoulder width apart. Like I said, back leg, you're always going to have that toe up, the heel off, and your slight bend in this back leg, glute flex. You're going to feel a stretch in this back leg, and all the work is coming through the power of this heel and leg here. Again, knees not buckling in or going forward, okay? Hands on your hips, you're keeping your balance. You're dropping straight down 90 degrees and driving straight through that front heel. Feeling a stretch here and all the work done on the quad here. Then we'll switch, okay? Again, 3 sets of 15 on each side. Drop and drive straight through. So that's Bulgarian split squats. Keeping hip width apart on the feet and starting in your kneeling position. 90 degrees to the front knee, and then you'll step up, and that will be the appropriate length for you on that. Keeping that back leg relaxed as you drop straight down. And then our final one is rotational squats. Another great hip mobility and single leg work, and also stretching the interior muscles of the adduction muscles, okay? We're gonna step about hip width to shoulder width apart, okay? Our goal is you're going to drop back just like a normal squat, hips and butt back, but onto one side with the opposite leg being as straight as you can. Your toe on that opposite leg that's straight where you're squatting from is totally straight. So your hands here in front, abs are tight, back's flat, and we're dropping straight back and driving straight up to center. Back again, driving through that front leg, your hips and butt are back, okay? Don't want that knee going forward. Then you'll be switching opposite sides. Now, when you're shoulder width apart, if you don't feel as comfortable and too tight, you can step further away a little bit at that point in time. Okay, again, 3 sets on 15. 3 sets of 15 on each side. Our next one is going to be some basic stretching for our lats and chest, which are also very important, especially being at home nowadays right now, is with the computers and phones, we get very excessively tight in the chest, always looking down. Our posture is not very good, and our lats can be too tight, which will cause some shoulder pain. If we have a box, the side of a couch, a bench, or a stool or chair, we can get down either on the knees, on both knees here, okay? What we're gonna be doing is elbows are gonna be towards the edge of whatever lip or piece of furniture you'll be using, okay? Your hips and butt are back, okay? My thumbs are facing me. I'm gonna keep my head down flat to keep spinal alignment, and I'm gonna press my chest down into the floor, and you will feel a stretch all through the lats and the sides of your core, all the way down, evenly on each side, okay? And you're gonna hold all your stretches for about 25 to 30 seconds. We're not, again, this is static stretch. We're not ballistic. We're not moving and bouncing. You're pressing chest into the floor and holding it for a 25 to 30 second count. So that's a lat stretch we can do at home. Our next one, you can get in the doorway, okay? This will be our chest shoulder stretch. What we're gonna do is you wanna put your hands wider than your shoulder width, obviously, in the doorway. So if it's more narrow versus this machine, we'll be up here. But if it's a little wider in the doorway, we wanna drop our hands below the shoulders. One foot is gonna extend forward. As you extend your hips forward, your arms are straight. You're gonna feel a pull from the anterior shoulder all the way through the pec muscles at the beginning, keeping your head straight and extending. Again, holding 25 to 30 seconds for each of these stretches, doing multiple sets. And step back as you go. Don't just bring your arms from wide, okay, to stay safer on the shoulder stretch. And then our final one, again, holding on to a doorway frame, a rugged pole into the home or something. We're gonna interlock our fingers around the doorway frame or on the edges of the frame. Your head's gonna be down, hips and butt back. We're bending at the knee, and we're leaning all of our body weight back into our butt and back side, okay? Again, this is a similar stretch to this lat one we showed you on the bench, where you're feeling the pull all through. So these are several exercises that we can do at home for basic mobility and stretching that will help prevent any tightness, soreness in the joints, muscles, and injuries for this period of time while we're away from the gym. I thank you very much again, James Morin here for mobility exercises. Thank you.